This is Henares making your day with part 40 of a book I wrote on Philippine history. Chapter, Expect the Unexpected. Rector's greatest and most lasting accomplishment is the transformation of the national character, the transfiguration of the Filipino colonial into the Filipino nationalist, proud and unafraid. It is almost axiomatic that in our colleges, when the student is brilliant and talented, he becomes a Rectonian nationalist and winds up in the student council and in the parliament of the streets. But when the student is an imbecile, he becomes a worshipper of the Americans and winds up as a private in the ROTC or the low man in the goon squad of some lousy fraternity, and eventually member of the Filipino CIA rat patrol. Our officials may bow to pressures from the IMF, the Paris Club, the American multinationals, but there is a defensive air about them, a shade of shame, a secret resolve to get back at their white trash tormentors. And it is evident that the American CIA can hardly recruit any Filipino but the crazy, the stupid, and the incompetent, or the utterly venal, who would sell their souls and their country for a grant from the Ford Foundation or the Hans Seidel Stiftung. The nationalism of the present generation is the legacy of Don Claro M. Recto. His life is a testament bequeathing to his people the reinvigorated tradition of pride of race and nationhood that was first handed to us by the great Jose Rizal. We are all his heirs, and may God give us the strength and determination to accept this inheritance with all its burdens, obligations, and sacrifices. For in the long run, the judgment of history will be upon us Filipinos, his contemporaries and successors, who will be measured by the ideas and the ideals of Don Claro M. Recto. A titan walked in our midst. Well may we exclaim with Shakespeare's Mark Antony upon the death of mighty Caesar, "When comes such another?" More about this after these messages. This is Henares making your day with part 40 of a book I wrote on Philippine history. Subject, Expect the Unexpected. My dear friends, the election of a new president can bring a lot of surprises. In the United States, a super-rich president became the champion of the very poor. Two peacenik presidents pushed the nation into war. One warmongering president brought peace to the nation. In the Philippines, two ultra-nationalist presidents committed the nation to American interests, and three pro-American presidents presided over a renaissance of nationalism. It is absurd. It is ridiculous. Elect a new president and expect the unexpected. What is it about being a president makes a leader embark upon a course contrary to what he has stood for all his life? A lifelong communist hater starts a peace initiative with the Soviets. A historical necessity that could never have been done by anyone else, especially not by a confirmed peace lover. What perversity is this that would assign a dove's role to a hawk? Most of his political life in pursuit of the highest position in the land, a national leader maintains a consistent public posture. Then, the moment he becomes president, he feels free to repudiate all he stands for. At the pinnacle of power, the leader perversely forces us to expect the unexpected. That is true of American as well as Filipino presidents. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a Hyde Park aristocrat, may be considered a traitor to his class because, as president, he gave the American people the New Deal, a social welfare program of taxing the rich to benefit the poor. But he was able to pull it off precisely because he was an aristocrat and could not be accused of pursuing a selfish interest. If his one-time vice president, the socialistic Henry Wallace, had been president setting up the New Deal, he would have been denounced as un-American and a communist. Lyndon Johnson, who won in a landslide election on a peace platform, would reverse himself and do exactly what his political mandate forbade him to do: escalate the war in Vietnam. For proposing the same thing, Barry Goldwater, the warmonger, lost the election by a greatest margin in American history. More tomorrow, my dear friends. This is Larry Henares, making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.